Hello friends, this world is full of secrets. Something happens in the world that shakes our heart and mind. Friends, like there is a human being in the world, there is God, but there is also some unique evil power or soul. In the world, the fight between humans and the devil is going on for ages, which we and you cannot stop. Such suspense thrillers have come up with horror-filled stories. The Night Doorbell presenting The Devil Show. In the small, isolated town of Willowbrook, nestled deep within a dense forest, there was an old, decrepit mansion known as the Hawthorne House. Locals spoke of it in hushed tones, for it was rumored to be haunted. The legend that shrouded the mansion was centered around a mysterious figure known as the Phantom Visitor. As the story goes, nearly a century ago, a reclusive artist named Eliza Hawthorne resided in the mansion. She was known for her eccentricity and obsession with the supernatural. Eliza believed that by painting portraits of her deceased loved ones, she could summon their spirits to the mansion. Her obsession grew darker over the years, and she painted more portraits, each one more macabre than the last. One fateful night, a powerful storm swept through Willowbrook, and lightning struck the mansion, setting it ablaze. The mansion burned to the ground, and Eliza Hawthorne perished inside. It was said that as the flames consumed her, she uttered an incantation that bound her spirit to the ruins of the house. Years passed, and the ruins of the Hawthorne house became a place of dread. Locals avoided it after sundown, believing that the ghostly figure of Eliza, the Phantom Visitor, would emerge from the ashes seeking new souls to join her spectral gallery. One autumn evening, a group of curious teenagers decided to test the legend. Emma, Jake, and Sarah had grown up hearing stories of the Phantom Visitor. They ventured into the forest with flashlights, determined to explore the ruins. The moon was hidden behind thick clouds, casting eerie shadows over the forest. As they approached the ruins, the air grew colder, and the once confident teenagers began to feel a creeping unease. Emma's flashlight flickered, and Jake's voice trembled as he said, "Maybe we should turn back." But Sarah, the bravest of the group, insisted they press on. As they stepped into the ruins, the crumbling walls seemed to breathe with a malevolent presence. Sarah thought she saw a faint figure in the corner of her eye, and Emma heard whispers in the wind, calling her name. Suddenly, a chilling wind whipped through the ruins, extinguishing their flashlights. Panic gripped them as they fumbled to relight them. When their beams of light returned, they saw it, a spectral figure, a woman in a tattered Victorian gown, with paint-splattered hands and empty eyes. It was the Phantom Visitor, Eliza Hawthorne's vengeful spirit. Her voice echoed through the ruins, chilling their bones as she said, "You have trespassed into my domain. Now, you shall become part of my gallery." With a wave of her hand, the teenagers felt an invisible force pulling them towards her. Desperate and terrified, they clung to each other, their voices trembling as they begged for mercy. But the Phantom Visitor was relentless, determined to add them to her spectral collection. Just as all seemed lost, a brilliant flash of lightning illuminated the ruins, revealing an old painting on the wall. It depicted Eliza Hawthorne herself, surrounded by the ghostly figures of those she had captured over the years. The painting glowed with an otherworldly light. In that moment, Jake had an idea. He shouted, "Eliza, you were an artist. You loved painting, didn't you?" The Phantom Visitor paused, her spectral gaze fixed on the painting. It seemed as if a flicker of recognition crossed her face. "We have a deal," Jake continued. "We'll help you finish your masterpiece, but you must release us." The ghostly figure hesitated, torn between her obsession and the opportunity to complete her work. Finally, she nodded, and the invisible force released its grip on the terrified teenagers. Over the next few days, they helped the Phantom Visitor complete her spectral gallery. They painted portraits of their own faces, surrendering a piece of their souls to her collection. In return, she allowed them to leave the ruins, never to return. As they walked away, they looked back one last time. The Hawthorne house lay in ruins, but it was no longer haunted by the Phantom Visitor. They had made a deal with the ghostly artist, a pact that allowed them to escape her clutches. But they would never forget the chilling encounter with the vengeful spirit who sought to add them to her spectral masterpiece. Years passed since that fateful night when Emma, Jake, and Sarah struck a bargain with the phantom visitor. The trio had gone their separate ways, each carrying the memory of their harrowing encounter, and the chilling feeling of being watched by spectral eyes in the darkness. The town of Willowbrook had changed too. Fewer people spoke of the Hawthorne house, and the legend of the phantom visitor had become a mere whisper in the town's folklore. The ruins, though still standing, were gradually being reclaimed by nature, hidden beneath creeping vines and moss, but some secrets never truly rest. One winter night, a new family moved to Willowbrook. The Radcliffes, consisting of parents David and Emily and their young daughter Lily, were drawn to the town by its serene beauty and affordable real estate. Unaware of the town's haunted history, they decided to make the ruins of the Hawthorne house their new home. David, an architect with a penchant for restoring historic buildings, saw the mansion's potential. He believed he could bring it back to its former glory. Emily, an artist herself, was fascinated by the thought of living in a place with such a rich and mysterious past. Little Lily, with her innocent curiosity, was excited about exploring the forest surrounding her new home. The family moved in on a frosty January morning. As the first snowflakes fell gently from the sky, they couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement about their new adventure. The Hawthorne house, though in ruins, had an eerie charm that captivated them. As weeks turned into months, the Radcliffes began the painstaking process of restoration. David meticulously studied old blueprints and architectural drawings, working tirelessly to restore the mansion's former grandeur. Emily found inspiration in the mansion's eerie beauty, painting hauntingly beautiful landscapes of the forest and the ruins. Lily, however, started to sense something amiss. She claimed to hear whispers in the wind and glimpses of shadowy figures among the trees. Her parents brushed it off as the overactive imagination of a child adjusting to a new environment. One frigid night, as snowflakes danced outside, Lily awoke to the sound of soft weeping. Curiosity getting the best of her, she followed the mournful cries through the winding hallways of the mansion. Guided only by moonlight, she entered a room she had never seen before, where an old portrait hung on the wall. It was a portrait of a young girl with piercing green eyes, and the girl in the painting resembled Lily herself. The weeping grew louder, and as Lily approached the painting, the ghostly figure of a woman materialized before her. It was the phantom visitor, Eliza Hawthorne, her spectral presence filled with sorrow. She looked at Lily with a mix of longing and sadness, and then, in a voice that sent shivers down Lily's spine, she whispered, "You are the spitting image of my daughter, Lily." Lily trembled, but her innocent heart was filled with compassion. "Why are you crying?" she asked. The phantom visitor recounted her tragic story, how her obsession with art had led to her demise, and how she had lost her beloved daughter, Lily, many years ago. She had been bound to the ruins, unable to find peace. Tears welled up in Lily's eyes as she listened to the ghostly tale. She reached out to touch the painting, her small hand meeting Eliza's spectral one. In that moment, she made a promise, "I'll be your friend, phantom visitor, and I'll help you find your daughter." A sense of warmth washed over the room, and the phantom visitor smiled for the first time in years. Lily's family, awakened by the commotion, rushed into the room. They were met with a sight that would forever change their lives as their daughter, holding the hand of a ghostly apparition. As the days turned into weeks, Lily's family embraced their new, otherworldly friend. Together, they helped the phantom visitor in her quest to find her daughter's resting place. Through old records and dusty archives, they uncovered the long-forgotten grave of Lily Hawthorne, hidden deep within the forest. With tears of gratitude, the phantom visitor was finally able to lay her daughter to rest, freeing her from the mansion's haunting grasp. As she faded away, her spectral figure looked at Lily and whispered, "Thank you, my dear friend." From that day forward, the Hawthorne house was no longer haunted by vengeful spirits. Instead, it became a place of peace and reflection. The Radcliffes continued their restoration, honoring the memory of Eliza and her daughter Lily. The story of the Radcliffes and the phantom visitor spread throughout Willowbrook, transforming the once feared Hawthorne house into a symbol of hope and unity. The town's residents began visiting the mansion, sharing stories and memories, and even helping with the ongoing restoration efforts. As the years passed, the Radcliffes became beloved members of the community. David's architectural skills were put to good use as he helped restore other historic buildings in Willowbrook. Emily's hauntingly beautiful paintings, inspired by the mansion in the forest, gained recognition far beyond the town's borders. Lily grew into a remarkable young woman, known not only for her courage in befriending the phantom visitor, but also for her compassion and empathy. She spent hours in the forest, documenting its beauty and mysteries, always feeling the presence of her spectral friend watching over her, but the bond between Lily and the phantom visitor remained unbroken. On moonlit nights, she would visit the room with the portrait and talk to Eliza about her adventures and dreams. The phantom visitor, no longer bound to her haunting obsession, found solace in Lily's companionship. One summer evening, as fireflies danced in the garden, Lily received an unexpected visitor. It was an elderly woman, her face etched with lines of wisdom and kindness. She introduced herself as Margaret, the town's historian, and she had come to share a long-forgotten secret. Margaret revealed that she was the last living descendant of the Hawthorne family and the keeper of their history. She explained that Eliza Hawthorne's obsession with art had been a desperate attempt to keep her daughter's memory alive after Lily's tragic death. Margaret, who had heard the legend of the phantom visitor, had spent years researching her family's history and was deeply moved by Lily's story. She knew that there was one final piece of the puzzle left to uncover: the whereabouts of Eliza Hawthorne's lost artworks, the ones she had painted in her obsession. With Margaret's guidance, Lily and her family embarked on a quest to find Eliza's lost paintings, hoping that they held the key to the phantom visitor's ultimate redemption. Together, they journeyed deep into the heart of the forest, exploring hidden caves and forgotten paths. Their search led them to a hidden chamber beneath the ruins of the Hawthorne house. It was filled with dusty canvases, each more haunting and beautiful than the last. As they examined the paintings, they realized that these were the works Eliza had created in her obsession, capturing the essence of the forest and the mansion. With Margaret's knowledge of the family history, they deciphered a series of cryptic messages hidden within the paintings. These messages revealed the location of Lily's grave, the final resting place of the lost daughter who had haunted Eliza's soul for so long. With renewed determination, the Radcliffes and Margaret set out to honor Lily Hawthorne's memory by giving her a proper burial. As they stood before the long-forgotten grave, a sense of closure washed over them. The phantom visitor, who had silently watched their journey, appeared one last time, her spectral form radiant with gratitude. In a touching moment, Lily and Eliza embraced, the living and the departed sharing a bond that transcended the boundaries of life and death. The phantom visitor's spirit began to fade, but this time, it was not a farewell but a final release. With a whispered word of gratitude, the phantom visitor merged with the forest, becoming one with the very place she had loved in life. The Hawthorne house stood as a monument to the power of redemption and the enduring connection between the living and the dead. The legend of the phantom visitor continued to be told in Willowbrook, but it was no longer a tale of fear and horror. It was a story of compassion, forgiveness, and the belief that even the most restless souls could find peace through the kindness of others. Years turned into decades, and the Hawthorne house, once feared and shunned, became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking solace and inspiration. It was no longer haunted but revered as a symbol of the enduring human spirit. Generations of artists and dreamers flocked to Willowbrook, drawn by the story of the phantom visitor and the ethereal beauty of the mansion and the forest. The town's economy thrived as it embraced its newfound reputation as a sanctuary for creativity and healing. The Radcliffe family's legacy endured as well. Lily, now a renowned artist herself, continued to paint the enchanting landscapes of the forest, capturing the magic that had brought her family and the phantom visitor together. Her paintings adorned the walls of galleries and museums worldwide, a testament to the extraordinary journey she had undertaken as a child. David's architectural expertise had transformed Willowbrook into a haven for preservation and restoration. Historic buildings thrived under his care, and the town became a living museum, its streets lined with beautifully preserved structures that told the story of its rich history. Emily's art found a permanent home within the heart of Willowbrook. The town's art center, established in her memory, was a hub of creativity and expression. It was a place where artists from all walks of life came to share their work and inspire one another, perpetuating the spirit of artistry that had first drawn Eliza Hawthorne to the mansion. Margaret, the town's historian, continued to unravel the mysteries of Willowbrook's past. Her research brought to light forgotten tales and hidden treasures, further enriching the town's history and culture. The legend of the Phantom Visitor was kept alive not as a story of fear, but as a parable of transformation and the enduring capacity of the human heart to find compassion and redemption. Visitors from far and wide came to hear the tale, to explore the forest, and to pay their respects to the once feared ghost who had become a symbol of hope. But the Phantom Visitor herself was never forgotten. On nights when the moon hung low in the sky and the forest was blanketed in silver light, residents and visitors alike claimed to catch glimpses of her spirit, now a guardian of the very forest she had so dearly loved in life. And so, in the town of Willowbrook, where legends and reality intertwined, the Phantom Visitor lived on, not as a specter of fear, but as a gentle reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could find the light, and that redemption was possible for all who sought it. As the years passed, the world changed around Willowbrook, but the legacy of the Phantom Visitor remained a beacon of hope and inspiration. The ruins of the Hawthorne house stood as a testament to the enduring power of love and friendship, a reminder that even the most troubled souls could find peace and redemption through the kindness and compassion of others. The legend of the Phantom Visitor continued to echo through the generations. It reached far beyond the borders of Willowbrook. Scholars, artists, and paranormal enthusiasts from around the world came to study the tale, hoping to uncover its mysteries and learn from its profound message of redemption. The Hawthorne house, once in ruins, was now meticulously restored, preserving its hauntingly beautiful architecture for future generations. It served as a museum and a cultural center, where visitors could delve into the rich history of the mansion and the story of the Phantom Visitor. Inside the museum, the room where Lily had made her compassionate promise to the Phantom Visitor was faithfully preserved. Visitors could see the very portrait of Eliza Hawthorne that had played a pivotal role in the family's journey, a testament to the power of human connection. The forest surrounding the mansion had become a protected nature reserve, where wildlife thrived, and rare plant species flourished. It was a place of serene beauty and tranquility, where people sought respite from the busy world. Feeling the presence of the Phantom Visitor as a gentle guardian of the land, every year, on the anniversary of their first encounter with the Phantom Visitor, the Radcliffe family, now spanning multiple generations, would gather in the forest to honor the memory of Eliza and her daughter Lily. They would light lanterns and share stories of their shared journey, ensuring that the legacy of compassion and redemption lived on. Lily, now an elderly woman, continued to paint and inspire others with her art. She had a special place in her heart for the town that had become her lifelong home, and she often spoke about the lessons she had learned from the Phantom Visitor. The legend had not lost its power over the years. In fact, it had grown stronger, becoming a symbol of hope and transformation in a world that often seemed dark and unforgiving. People from all walks of life found solace in the story, believing that no matter how haunted one's past might be, redemption was always within reach. And so, as time marched forward, the legacy of the Phantom Visitor endured, reminding us all that even in the most haunted corners of our hearts, there was a spark of humanity that could find its way back to the light. The mansion, the forest, and the town of Willowbrook continued to thrive, their collective spirit forever entwined with the story of the Phantom Visitor, a tale that would never fade, but instead would shine brightly for generations to come. With this story ends here. If you like the story, then like the video and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to pass it so that you keep getting such interesting stories. Thank you.